gavel? There you go. All right. So I'd like to bring this meeting to order, please, on this Wednesday night, October 20th, our regular school board meeting. And if I could have a roll call, please, of those present, that would be me. So Claudia Parker? Yay. Kim Leonard is absent. Judy Rayson?
Yes.
Rachel Marroquin?
Yes.
Michael Aumiller?
Present.
Denise Jones?
Yes.
And Colleen Klimzak, yes. Great. If we could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I think our hearts all just melted just a little. That was awesome.
I know,
Yes,
right?
thank you so much. So if we could next have a moment to look at the agenda that's presented at the table, and after a minute, if I could have a first to approve the agenda as listed at the table.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. And a second?
I'll second.
Great. And a roll call, again, that would be me. Claudia Parker?
Yes.
Judy Reason?
Yes.
Great. Michael Aumiller?
Yay.
Rachel Marroquin?
Yes.
Denise Jones?
Yes.
And myself, yes, very good. And we did change the agenda today, and I am gonna apologize ahead of time. We're going to recess immediately to close session for 15 minutes. Shouldn't be long, we know you're all waiting. And so we're going to do that to discuss the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the district or legal counsel for the district, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee or against legal counsel for the district to determine its validity. So we will be back, hopefully, in a very short time. 7 minutes?
7.
Okay, she said 7. We'll see what we can do with that. I recognize it was longer than 7 minutes, and I appreciate your patience. Thank you very much.
It was 6 times longer.
I know, that's why I always bring the sweater, absolutely. Okay, so we are, thank you, I got the thumbs up from Mike. We are back into public session at 6:45, and we can continue then with the staff reports. Oh, you did get colder in here too, really, like super.
Okay, our very first staff report for the night is Johanna Morgan, presented by Linda Panico.
The word volunteer means a person who voluntarily offers themselves for a service or undertaking, a person who performs a service willingly and without pay. Johanna Morgan is a true definition of a volunteer. Johanna grew up in Evergreen Park, attended Northwest School. She and her husband own a business and are active in our community. Currently, her kids attend our 124 school. When I asked around the community if I could get people to share their thoughts of Johanna, the responses were overwhelming. They all said her commitment to her community, her love, respect, and gratitude were words that were repeated among everyone. Johanna started to volunteer around the year 2013, which was the first breast cancer walk at Northwest. It was then Johanna began to get actively involved in the PTA, now known as the Boosters. She ran the book fairs, mother-daughter night, mother-son events, and the most significant fundraiser was the annual school fundraiser at Bourbon Street, where they'd raised thousands of dollars for the students. She was also a parent representative for the Northwest PBIS. She would work closely with the staff. And students probably remember her, everyone said, for field day, where she always arranged for everybody to have ice cream. She organized the spring field trip in the past, beanbag tournaments, St. Baldrick's. She continues to volunteer with the breast cancer walk. In a conversation I had with her recently, unbeknownst to her, I was trying to get more information to see what else she has done. And she was also the head parent in the classroom when we had them years ago. So they add that as another talent for her party planning. She has been an active member with CMS Boosters since 2015, currently serving as a president at CMS. She also served as vice president for the Mustangs in Actions. She helped with the Evergreen Park rock project we did last year in April. She is the person who says yes in any way. If she has to say no, you better believe she will find a way to help or get you in contact with somebody that can help you. Johanna will soon be a parent of a high school student next year. She said she is going to slow down. I'm not sure I believe that. She has truly been committed to District 124 every day. When she moves on to the high school, she will truly be missed. And this is why Johanna is somebody you should know. And unfortunately, you took too long, and she had to leave. So she has now missed out.
Oh, gosh.
So, yeah, she left like literally 5 minutes ago.
Oh, my
She has a
goodness.
commitment.
Okay.
We will just send it over to the central, and one of her kids could bring that home to her, but unfortunately,
I'm so sorry.
you totally messed this up. So,
We'll make sure that she receives it.
Absolutely.
yeah, so,
And I can just speak, I've only met her a couple times, but she is absolutely just a true gem to have in the district, so
She's a
I
wonderful
appreciate
person.
She
that.
has been everywhere.
she is.
She has.
Really, I'm like, oh, of course, Joanne. Oh,
Yeah.
she's been everywhere.
Yeah.
She really has.
Yeah, she said she's not doing this for the high school. I don't believe it though. Like, you're still going to be.
She'll find a whole lot of things. They'll find out she says yes.
Yes,
And
exactly. We'll find out, so.
Well, I'm
Thank
sorry
you.
we missed her, and thank you for nominating her.
Okay, our next is Miss Ashley Carlson is going to present our next Somebody You Should Know.
She's that person. So when I was first hired for this position, I was immediately told, you will be fine, you have Debbie. And then that was promptly followed by, wait until you meet Debbie, you're gonna love her. And they were right. Debbie's my administrative assistant in the curriculum office, and I do just love her. This is Debbie's 30th year with Evergreen Park 124. She's worked for 5 years. She worked for 5 years at Southwest. Her first 3 was as a one-on-one para, and then 2 years as a media aide. Before she began working in the curriculum office. Debbie has been doing this job for 25 years. 25 years. She's been through 11 superintendents, which included multiple interims. She's been through 6 directors of curriculum. The amount of knowledge that she has about the district and about this position specifically is so incredibly valuable. And so I will let you in on a little secret. Debbie actually runs the office. She knows everything that needs to be done and when. She anticipates my needs and she meets every one of them. Any question I might ask, she already has a spreadsheet with all of the answers on it. Debbie does not only all of the curriculum ordering, which is a lot, she also does all of the curriculum receiving, which includes lugging the boxes, unpacking them, itemizing the orders, and then sorting them for the school deliveries. The best thing about Debbie is not the fact that she's a hard worker or proactive or resourceful, it's that she has a kind and generous heart. I have only known Debbie since July, but I feel like I have known her for so much longer. She greets me every day with a smile and a cheerful good morning. She shares fun stories throughout the day, which keep me laughing. Debbie's time in this position has also enabled her to have lasting relationships throughout the district. When someone calls the curriculum office and shares a short chat with Debbie, they not only receive the help they need, they also are hanging up with a smile. She's kind, she's understanding, and she's always willing to go the extra mile and support any way she can. I'm not sure of exactly what Debbie's specific job description looks like, but I'm guessing it says something like she does it all, because that's how it feels. Now, as I go to buildings, I'm frequently asked the question, what are you going to do when Debbie leaves? And honestly, I am not sure, but I'm going to soak up all of her knowledge now while I have it, and all of her goodness while she's here, and enjoy her each day. So this is, for all of these reasons, is why Debbie Vodowski is someone you should know.
She's got a chair right outside her office, so when I need some counseling support, she also
That kind and generous heart, right?
drive-by counseling. Perfect. Thank you both so much.
She does. She's a fan club everywhere, I will tell you.
We all know her. Yeah, that's right, Kelly. It's somebody you do know.
That's a lovely picture too. Somebody you get to know.
Somebody you're lucky to know.
All of those things.
All of those things.
Yeah, we'll just keep going.
Okay, so our next celebration is related to National Custodians Appreciation. So this happened early October. So we celebrated our custodians, which was what I like to call our quiet heroes, right? Because they are doing everything we need in our hallways each and every day to ensure that kids can stay safe and stay in school. The dedication and determination that this team has put forth is just unprecedented, and they've been asked to do so many additional duties and so many additional tasks related to COVID relief, and I cannot be more appreciative of this group. And every time I see a custodian pass by, they always greet me with a wave and a smile and how are you doing today? And we couldn't ask for anything better in that relationship to working with our custodians each and every day. So as a sign of our appreciation, we did provide them lunch in October Institute, just to show our dedication to them and our service to them in return. So I just wanted to make sure we mentioned that.
Nice.
So thank you. And then our next is Principals Month. Okay, so can I tell you I have the best principal team ever. And I want to say that I'm gonna give a little bit of time to brag. So this leadership team is just truly dedicated to students, and they're dedicated to students first. And I cannot state how appreciative I am of them and their willingness to just work with teachers and advocate for the needs of their staff. They have raised the bar each and every time, and it only makes my job much more enjoyable each and every day. I think what I truly love about this team the most is that they are honestly all just really good people. And when you get to work with really good people, it again just makes your job much easier. So working together, as you know, I truly believe in teamwork, and ordinary people can really perform extraordinary feats together. And so together we can push for the impossible as we work to lead D124. So as you may or may not know, I call them the dream team because they just are, they're the dream team. And so as a sign of our appreciation, we do have a small token here for you tonight that we will hand out. And of course, we've got cupcakes because we have to always celebrate with cupcakes here. And we'll do that at the end of the meeting as well. So everyone, please give your principal team. There's a proclamation.
There's a very lengthy proclamation. How about I let my principals decide? Would you like me to read the proclamation from our governor? It's very impressive. So,
We got a sneak preview of it.
To
It's
sum
in the mail.
up-
We got one in the mail.
to sum up, we cannot say enough words, even though they tried, about how awesome our principals are. And I really appreciate Dr. Woodland and all the things that she said as well. There's a whole lot of whereases in here, so we're gonna skip over the whereases. And mostly I want everybody here to know that there's actually a Principal Appreciation Week, which is the week of the 24th to the 30th. So prepare to be even more appreciated. And then an actual Appreciation Principals Day on Friday, October 29th. Which isn't that when everybody's celebrating for the Halloween?
Sure, it's a full moon.
Oh my
We like
gosh.
to call it like perfect timing,
That
right?
will be everything all together. So
Lots of
I speak for all of us, I'm sure. Yeah, truly, we could not do what we do without your awesomeness. And we're just so grateful for everything that you do. And not just in 1 week or 1 day in October, but all of them. So thank you so much. You are appreciated. So much so I will not read all the whereases, just so there you go. So thank you so much. Yeah.
Our next is we have another recognition. So Iasb Recognition Awards is something that comes through Iasb, and Ms. Colleen Klimczak was provided an award, so we wanted to make sure we recognize her today. So as a result, this includes a significant amount of time, and so a master board member points are earned by attending IASB division meetings, governing meetings, legislation leadership programs, as well as holding positions of leadership within the association. So we wanted to take some time today to show you your award that you were given. So we're gonna take a quick picture,
Oh, wow.
and then also your new journal that you were provided by IASB.
Snazzy. I like this. Thank you very much. I'll take it to conference with me.
Yeah.
All of the webinars during Zoom time, you know,
Yeah.
right? So
Exactly.
I learned a whole lot because I could from the comfort of my office. So absolutely. Thank you.
See you.
And my snazzy. Thanks so much.
Congratulations.
Cool.
Okay. So our next topic is just really related to, we're up for a strategic plan. Isn't that so exciting? So we wanted to make sure that you were informed along the way in the process. And the purpose of a strategic plan is to set overall goals for you and to develop a plan that absolutely includes action. As we all know, no plan is any good unless if we take action on it. And that's really truly what I'm looking for in that process of a strategic plan. So it involves stepping back from our day-to-day operations and really asking for a big picture vision to ensure that we have all the information collected from not just one group of stakeholders, but a variety of stakeholders to really provide us focus and a vision for the organization moving forward. The objective is to provide a facilitator that truly aligns with our philosophies and goals. And we'll continue that process with the committee of the whole next week to really look through who would be that best facilitator for Evergreen Park School District. So as this process continues, we'll continue to inform our teachers and our community to ensure that we have the essential feedback that's needed for a successful plan.
So that's our reminder, board, that we will meet again this time next week to look at the two different
facilities.
Okay, two different facilitators so we can find the right one for us to move forward.
Yes,
I-
more to come.
2 strategic plans ago is when I really started to get involved in things, and so I'm it's a great process.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
excited. Absolutely. So thank you. Great. Business office. Mr. Grossi.
All the fun numbers,
I know, right? I like
Mr.
numbers.
Grossi?
I was just saying, I love numbers. Numbers are great.
So we have the statement of revenues here in front of you. The revenues are starting to flow in as of last month. You might notice that there's over $3 million more in revenue since last month in the Ed Fund alone. We received a large property tax payment that was roughly that $3 million.
Nice.
Here are the statement of expenditures. Expenditures went up as well. One reason is due to the first of the 2 arrow payments. Salaries and benefits were once again the main source of our expenditures this past month. Our current fund balance has gone up in all funds from the prior month except for the life safety fund, which has only went down $3,000. There's a property tax appeal board that companies can go to. This is like a little explanation of PTABs.
PTAB 101.
PTAB 101.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
So there is a property tax appeal board that companies can go to if they want a reassessment of their property value. We had 2 companies as of now that have come back with the property tax appeal board stating that they were paying taxes on too high of a valuation. As a result of this, these companies want to be refunded in the taxes that are over what they should have paid with the newer valuation. School districts hire attorneys to try and negotiate a settlement with these companies. This route helps lower the odds of having to go to court and as a result having to pay legal fees. Our lawyer recommended a settlement amount for each of the 2 PTABs to ourselves and the high school district. The Evergreen High School approved the Fifth Third Bank PTAB and are planning on approving the Aventura PTAB at their board meeting this month. And as you can see up here, here are the 2 settlements that we have currently. The first settlement on top, we would be saving about 68% of what they originally want from us. And then for Fifth Third Bank, it's roughly 83% of what they want from us. So
That's great.
it's pretty good.
No, that's excellent.
A quick audit update. Auditors came in.
Can I say one thing about
Yeah.
PTAB?
Of course.
So, I was mentioning too that, PTAB is allocated in our budget. It's a line item every year that we will have settlements. We know this. It's I know I should have asked you long before now, what the number is for this year. What the budget, I know, I didn't mean to put you on place. But I know that, it's part of our budget. We know that we will have PTAB settlements, and so it's not that that's coming out of the education fund unexpectedly. It's something that we absolutely budget and prepare for, and so you never wanna have to, spend, $27,000, but it's absolutely already in the budget for this year and not untoward or uncovered.
Right, because you could get one any day.
Right.
The auditors came in the central office this past month to do their field work. They plan on providing the first draft of the audit on the 28th of this month. once it goes through review and report writing, and they have already began the review process as of Monday of this week. We also received 5 FOIAs in this past month. The first one was from a Miss Sherry Reed of Smart Procure. The second was from a Miss Janine Jordan of Data Research Partners LLC. And then the other 3 was from a Mr. Vince Espy of Local Labs, and all of those FOIAs have been completed. Any questions?
And thanks for the PTAB 101.
Oh, of course.
I appreciate that. Like, that is something that I didn't know what PTAB was probably for the first couple of years. I can admit that now. So, yeah, I appreciate the explanation. Thank you. Curriculum and instruction.
So, the first thing that I want to talk about a little bit is our instructional coaching that we have going on. So we hired, as you know, 10 interventionists / coaches at the end of last year. And the intervention piece was something that most of these folks were very familiar with and had been doing. But the coaching is kind of a new hat for everybody. So we're really focusing on some job-embedded training for them that they will be doing throughout the school year. And we've partnered with Dr. Keith Young to do that training. So here's some photos. His first day was August 5th with us, and he did some whole group coaching throughout that day, which was a wonderful experience and an opportunity to meet him and really better understand the philosophy of coaching and what all goes into it. He's coming almost every month throughout the school year, and he's with us for 3 days at a time. His second visit was September 13th through the 16th, and he spends a half a day in each building and then a half a day with the whole group. And that's kind of the model that it will be throughout the school year. Those half days in the buildings, he's really going around with the coaches and modeling what the coaching looks like. And then throughout the year, then the coaches will begin to take that job over from him, and we'll demonstrate it for him. So this has been a great experience. I feel like our coaches are growing every day and learning to kind of navigate those 2 hats. So, and he's wonderful at what he does.
So he's a consultant. How often are we getting him?
He's coming about every month.
For the rest of the duration of the year? For the school year, yep. So we have 16 days, I believe, that we contracted with him. And then everybody will be raring to go, right?
I think so. That's the plan.
It's not something that we'll have to continue on an annual basis.
Not at this time. Do we have him for 2 years? Correct me if I'm wrong. We can potentially.
We could potentially progress forward with him in the event we deemed it necessary. So like it's an ongoing contract, and we work with him flexibly to determine what the dates are and then what the expectation would be for the coach interventionist position. And that's to ensure that they're progressing in the training that they need to be successful.
How is the training that he's providing different than the coaches that we used to have in district office and the way that they were helping the teachers at the school level? How's this different?
They are housed in the building, so they're working with the teachers every day. They're also providing those interventions, so they're in the classrooms and seeing what the needs of the classes are and what the needs of the students and the teachers are within the room. His coaching that he's really doing, it's shorter visits. Like you're in the classroom, you're observing, you're scripting, you're taking note, and then you're meeting with the teacher after, providing quick feedback, and it could cover anything. So it's not specific to maybe just reading or math. It could be instructional strategies, it could be behaviors, it could be engagement, it could cover any number of things as far as instruction goes.
Okay. Is he expensive?
I think along the lines of coaches, I think that he's fairly reasonable.
So how much are we paying him?
We can get back to you on that. I don't know the specific number, but we
are using grant funds.
Grant funds.
It is grant funded?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Because I know, if we had dedicated coaches in all these different facets, and then we discontinued them because we did feel that it is better to stay within our buildings with
Absolutely.
our own people
Yes.
to train the trainer.
Yeah.
But then if we're doing outside consulting, and that's almost equivalent to the positions that we dismantled, I'm just wondering,
And I think.
are we doing ourselves a disservice? That's my question, and I'm sure our stakeholders are wondering the same.
Absolutely. I think that the thought process behind we want to make sure that these positions are viable for the long term, and we want to make sure that they have that foundation in place to be able to do the job effectively. And it is hard. I mean, coaching is a difficult role, and it does take finesse and proper training in order to be able to do it right and well. So
I agree. All right. That's great. I think that's fantastic. I just want us to be able to cut the cord
Absolutely.
at some point.
Oh, yes.
So do we.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes, we enjoy seeing him. We don't want to see him forever.
Correct.
So.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And then the second thing I wanted to talk about tonight was our October 8th Teacher in Service Day. This was really a great day. I enjoyed it very much, and I feel like our staff did as well. We focused on staff and student wellness. So up here are just a couple of the breakout sessions that we offered in the afternoon. So we had one on stress management. We had the if you want to go back really quick.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're fine. The one in the middle was an art therapy session that our teachers were able to take part in. And the third one, it's kind of hard to see because I didn't go all the way in the room because it was pretty intense, but that was yoga going on in there. And on the next page, it talks about the different sessions that we offered. And what was great about them, things like the yoga and the art therapy, they helped our teachers and provided some self-care for them, but then also talked about ways that they could implement those things into the classroom with students, because we know that students are needing that those self-care tips as well. So here was a list of things that were offered. We had the self-care techniques, yoga and mindfulness, meditation techniques. The art therapy was super popular and looked very, very fun. Cognitive behavior techniques, which are really good for students when you change your thoughts, you really change your mood. And so talking about some of those thought changing skills that they can, we can use for ourselves, but also use with students. De-escalation techniques, trauma-informed practices. And then we also touched on some academic things as far as the EL strategies, tech tips, STAR. Dr. Woodland did a great Twitter presentation so we can be telling our story. And then we offered CPR first aid training for our coaches and PE teachers. In the morning, we had training for our teachers on the SSIS program that we have, which will do some social emotional assessments for our students that will allow us to be able to make better decisions for their needs as well. The feedback from teachers was pretty positive. These are 3 of the questions that we standardly ask at the end of our professional development. So 93% strongly agree, or 93 individuals, so these are not percentages, sorry, strongly agreed that it would impact social and emotional growth. Here, the presenters were great. We really partnered with the Center for Self-Actualization here in town, and they provided us with some of the presenters. And they enjoyed the way that they were organized and they were engaged. So we felt pretty positive after it. So
I thought that's fantastic, because that was what I asked you last
Yes.
board meeting, like what are we doing for our staff?
Yep.
So that's fantastic.
great. Yeah, it was good. They were pretty happy. Any other questions? All right, thanks.
Thank you so much. Jack.
So, our district received the Pre-K Gold Circle of Quality Award again this year.
Yay. Awesome.
It is issued by Accelerate and reflects our district's continuous improvement efforts for early learning. So there are 4 domain areas that are evaluated, and I'm going to discuss each of those areas while also recognizing the staff that have contributed to securing this award. So the first area is the learning environment. So we have 5 phenomenal teachers and paraprofessionals that provide high-quality instruction and learning experiences for students that are at risk and students with disabilities to prepare them for the rigors of kindergarten. This is our team. It includes Ms. Krevin, Ms. Wall, Ms. Majewski, Mrs. De La Rosa, Ms. Pringle, and along with them, the paraprofessionals, Ms. Crenshaw, Ms. Albaron, Ms. Miglieri, I hope she forgives me for chopping up her name, Ms. Batchelor, and Ms. Dilly. The next area is family and community engagement. So our initial point of contact with parents really sets the tone for the relationships that are developed with our families. And this team, along with our preschool teachers, they work really closely with families to complete the preschool screenings as well as our early childhood assessments. They share their assessment data results with families to inform them of their child's development. They provide direct services to our students that are eligible, and they enlist our parents as partners in their child's education. So this team encompasses Ms. Dick, who's our social worker, our OTs, Mrs. McGarry, Mrs. Cotter, our school psychologist, Ms. Roman, case manager, Ms. Terrell, our speech pathologist, Ms. Scahill, Ms. Bilas, Ms. Mueller, our school nurse, Ms. Prendergast, and of course, Ms. Hector, who's my administrative assistant. She has contact with every single family, whether students qualify or not, when they enroll in the program. The next area is leadership and management. So our administrators ensure that staff have the resources and the support they need to effectively serve students. And this team includes Ms. Prado, Mr. Martinez, Ms. Kasparitz, Dr. Bannock, and Ms. Berry. And then the final area that is assessed is qualifications and continuing education. And we ensure that we hire highly qualified teachers and administrators and that we provide ongoing professional development. This award is awarded based on our previous ratings as well as our own self-assessment that we complete each year.
Awesome.
We're very proud of this.
You should be. Congratulations.
That takes a lot of work. Great job.
It does. And of course, Dr. Newman, you always applaud others, but we don't always get a chance to applaud you. So I'm going to say thank you for what you do. You can see your face in those pictures. They should be up there too. So thank you for everything and congratulations. That's really great. On to board reports. Judy,
Okay.
Ms. Rayson, yes, please.
Okay, well, Arrow had its regular governing board meeting on September 20th. So really since that time, several things have come up, exciting news about the construction and all of that. But at the regular meeting, there was a presentation by Leggett Architecture and IHC, the construction firm. And they really spent a lot of time looking at some of the interior finishes. So some of the highlights of that were just their focus on a therapeutic setting, the focus on like the sensory needs of the students, and how they designed the building to help like with crisis management and transitions between classes, transitions from like coming into school in the morning and leaving school. So they gave us some examples and visuals of what that would look like. They also shared some of like the kind of guiding ideas for their design that they had. They shared a color board and for flooring and paint, but that each wing has a color and texture, which was sort of an interesting concept to me. So they have like element inspirations. There's a water wing, an air wing, a spring wing, and wildflower. But I think it's to make each wing kind of recognizable to the students and to give them some ownership. So they shared some visuals of that, but a lot of thought has gone into what will make it a therapeutic and kind of calm setting for the students. We viewed images of their cafeteria and this beautiful movement room by their courtyard. So the students who need like additional movement during the day, it looks pretty nice. So as far as the construction updates go, they are still in the permitting phase, but the most recent update from Dr. Ganell, which came in yesterday, I believe, or the day before, is that permits have been secured from the city of Burbank for both tree removal on the site and installation of temporary fencing around the site. And then, very excitingly, they've set a date for the groundbreaking ceremony, which is going to be on Monday, November 1st. So things are moving along. That is exciting, yeah. So their next bid release package occurred on September 22nd. And we will review new construction contracts at our next regular governing board meeting on November 15th. But I know the executive board will review that prior to that, the week before. Okay, I think that's just about everything. They shared some issues they're having with busing. I think that's common to many districts that use bus service, so that was, but they're working that out. Those were the highlights.
And we'll be sending out information in relationship to if you want to attend the ceremony on November 1st, so that will come in your future.
Sure, great. Thank you. Sure. There's a lot going on over there. Oh my gosh, every meeting. Wonderful. So next is our district review team meeting report. We had a meeting on Monday, September 27th, right here. It's always great to hear the news and celebrations in the buildings. That's one of my favorite parts, actually, is to hear all the good things that are going on, and a lot of babies and weddings and grandbabies, and it's awesome. I love it. Growth is wonderful. Yes, no, we love that. So there were, I think, 7 issues that came up. One was a question about when subs should start or not. And I guess there had been some inconsistencies, and so there was just a nice executive decision about when subs, if you're working a half day, your day, begins at this time and ends at this time, and then the sub is expected to come in at 11:30. So I just think that was really helpful, I'm sure, to uncover the mystery and eliminate confusion. So there was a question about classroom size, and right now we are continuing to monitor, but no classroom is exceeding safety requirements or numbers. One question was about the educational assistants, and that was covered. We've discussed that a couple times at meetings before now, and also in an MOU. There was also actually a pretty interesting conversation about transitioning special education and also kindergarten, really is where it came up a lot, because we need to make sure that there's a team, that all the pieces and parts are involved in the discussion as students transition into the regular classroom, a regular classroom versus self-contained, but also especially at that transition time of, pre-K to kindergarten and then 5th to 6th grade in a new building as well. We mentioned that. So just making sure that, the incoming, the receiving teachers and the receiving buildings are part of that conversation as well as everyone else. So there was a question about communications and emails. There was a very interesting conversation about technology and maintenance, and submitting those requests. And technology apparently is immediate, but maintenance, you have to go through the building principal, and all of these kinds of things were a very interesting conversation that I didn't know, and it was very illuminating. So hopefully we'll be able to make some progress on timelines and how quickly things can be responded to. And then finally, the last question was about Southwest School and availability to the building, but that problem was resolved before the meeting even, with a new custodian being hired at Southwest. So like I said, I always value the input and I value the conversations that happen. I think 5 buildings and district office coming together to have those very useful conversations that's why I keep coming. I like them. And our next meeting is Monday. So we'll be here again, and thank you to Julie for putting all that together. And any questions? You guys got that in the report too. You and me. Right? Awesome. Very good. So thank you. Okay, and then we also had a facilities meeting that Ms. Merriquin and Mr. Miller were a part of. So Rachel, if you would give us our report. That was a good meeting too. Thank you so much.
So that meeting took place on September 29th, and a lot of information. First off, we started talking about the budget. When you hear these figures though, it sounds like a lot, but it's not when you start talking about all the things that need to be done, and that was pretty fascinating being in that meeting. So our bond, we have that $4.5 million, the ESSER 3 funds that can be used on areas not related to learning loss. We had the $1,735,000. But then we also have a grant, they call it a matching grant for flooring replacement. I mean, so they get we pay 50, they pay 50. And so after we talked about the money available, and I was like, wow, that's awesome. We started talking about all of the things, they called them needs and wants. Because obviously all of this can't be done. So we talked about needs and wants at each school. So either the principal or somebody spoke up for each school. So for instance, like Northeast talked about floor replacement, air conditioning, use of the attic space was a huge discussion. It was interesting. Southwest was talking about the replacing of rooms with carpet. The carpet need to be replaced, the gym with air conditioning, or air conditioning costs so much, exhaust for increased airflow. Also some chimney tuck pointing. Northwest had a long list here. Handicap accessible entrances. Again, these are all needs and wants, a little bit of both. About keeping up with the landscape, those lunchroom tables they wanted that in the gym that go up to the wall. So that gives them much more space, easier to clean up and whatnot. They talked about replacing the carpet. Again, some more flooring replacement. They're having issues with some HVAC controls. And then, of course, these are some wants. The STEM classroom, a speech office, digital school signs, intercom replacement. Southeast talked about flooring replacement, air conditioning. Central, the big thing was the bathrooms. Bathrooms were huge.
Kim is not here. Kim needs to be here to hear this.
They also talked about the HVAC systems and updating the classrooms. I like the way that it was worded in the meeting to the 21st century, aligned to the high school. So those were that was all just how we started off talking. We talked about all the needs and wants of each building. And then, I'm probably gonna say it wrong, is it Liget or Liget? Liget.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Liget presented, that's when they presented their overview here. Oh, you got it right there. Because they did a walkthrough and they did a side-by-side comparison of each building. Nice and easy there. They got the red there for the attention required. They talked then about our 3-year plan priorities. So Northwest and Southeast, one of the priorities was air conditioning. Northeast and Southwest had to do with flooring replacement, a priority. Also some painting. Southeast had some ceiling issues that they needed replaced. Central, some air replacement, and of course Central, the bathrooms, which again was a huge talk. They talked about this is just a 3-year plan, because then we're going to have to look at it again. and see where this is going to continue. They talked about coming with a plan starting this winter, a whole schedule that they're going to come up with. Let's see, what am I missing here? So then they are Liget is going to provide a proposal to us for the mechanical upgrade options, pricing for Southeast, Northeast, Central regarding determining what direction we're gonna go in. I think they talked about giving us different options. And they're also going to provide a proposal for flooring replacement at Southeast and Northeast. And again, the painting and the ceiling replacement at Southeast. Also a proposal regarding the bathrooms at Central. And, something that was mentioned also was they were gonna look into an issue regarding the elevators. I guess they're not working all the time. One thing I skipped that I had in my notes is one of the big things too, I guess, that they need to have planned out is the removal of those trailers. The mobiles and the storage that they have. Because right now, currently, they're storing all the things that were put away because of COVID restrictions, all that seating that they had and all the cool stuff that had to get put away.
The rooms.
And they don't have enough storage space. So that was something else talked about was storage. I think, did I miss anything? It was a lot of information.
It was.
It was overwhelming when you start to look at like, oh, yeah, that's a lot of money. So
It's exciting.
it's exciting
It
to
is.
be able to get things done.
Yes.
That'll be exciting.
To be able to say yes to things and
Yes.
know that the classroom, environment will be improved in
And it
every
changes
building.
the mood. When you walk into a facility and it feels new and fresh and improved and updated, it gives you a sense of pride in how you operate in that space. So this is good for us.
Good energy.
100%.
It's hopeful. Yeah, absolutely.
So Eric and I had an updated meeting with Liget just today, and they're in the process of working through the proposals that they stated that they're going to then select to bring to the committee. So in the near future, we'll reconvene. And then I had the opportunity to walk the buildings with Denise, so she got to see everything in person and also can contribute to that conversation as well, so, great.
Awesome. I love school tours. I love going on school tours. Like, it is, it's great, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Everything they have outlined here.
Yep, it's,
And the bathrooms.
and the bathrooms. Yeah, you're like, yep, mm-hmm, bright red, uh-huh.
It helps us visualize though, and then also prioritize.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
One quick question about how it was prioritized by Liget on that form. When they looked at the HVAC and the desire for AC in the gyms, because I know the schools have been requesting AC for years. How did they determine what would be in the red zone? Like why specifically Northeast and Southeast for air conditioning, but not the other schools?
Jim is actually not here tonight, but I can definitely follow up with him and make sure that we get that answer. And they're actually bringing in mechanical engineers now that will provide us very specific, detailed responses in relationship to the HVAC. Carrie Berry's got her hand raised.
The East schools still have window units.
Yes.
Oh, the others don't?
Correct.
Oh, I didn't realize that, okay. Oh, that answers the
Yeah, that's
question,
probably
that's
a
the
factor.
difference. Okay, thank you.
With the
And then-
tour,
Okay.
able to kind of sense the humidity in some schools
can sense the
versus the
humidity.
other schools.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
So that's why I say they have this outline is kind of accurate. Going through all the details. That's very accurate.
Yeah.
So whatever they have,
That's
We need
it's kind of a little bit, it's very accurate.
Okay, I think there must be a difference. It seemed like they were all in the same boat on gyms, but that
Yeah.
definitely clarifies it.
And then they'll send the mechanical engineer to northeast, southeast, and then central. One of the things in relationship to HVAC at central is that when the building was built on, it was built on and then air conditioning was added, and they also still have window units in their classrooms as well. So that contributes to, obviously, the noise in a classroom and the impact overall of whether or not the air conditioning is really functioning to where it should be.
Didn't they say that every unit was different? Like
Every
it was
unit is
not
different.
that-
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's one of the most complicated units they've ever seen.
Yes,
So
that's what, yes.
we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out, for sure.
One thing they talked about, I remember southeast, we need to replace some ceiling.
Ceiling tiles.
From the
Because
humidity.
It's
That's
right, and so because the way it's built, so specific to southeast, but we can't fix the humidity until we get the air conditioning. So why would we fix the ceiling if we haven't fixed the humidity problem, which would be remedied with better HVAC? So it really, thank goodness we got 3 years. Like, we should be seeing things quickly to remedy some of these situations, but some things have to happen first and second and third before we can, solve the other problems
And I
too,
think
so.
like the flooring for that grant, it has to be used, like, I
Within
think this
a year,
summer
yeah.
or next summer?
I think next summer was
Next
the
summer,
idea.
2022. Yeah, and so that's like something that has to be done kinda.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's funny to think that next summer is quick.
I know.
But it is, and again, in the timeline, it really is, but that is money that has to be spent by next summer, so. Thank you to both of you who attended that,
Thank you.
and I look forward to
Another meeting soon.
hearing more about that as well.
Yeah.
So,
I was just adding really quickly.
Of course.
yes,
All of the libraries were very nice. Every
I wanna go hang out there too, right?
Media center, honey.
Oh, my goodness, outstanding.
Media center.
Yes, very nice.
Yeah, I wanna plop down and read a book there myself, yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you, for that, and then, Sonia, do we have any green cards?
No, we do not.
Okay, thank you. I do need to just say, looking ahead for public comments, right? So, a few reminders specifically about the logistics, as it's posted on our agenda publicly for every meeting to respect all our stakeholders. Our commenters, our board, our public, we adhere very closely to the 3-minute limit for comments for everyone. We'll set a timer and expect everyone to respect those 3 minutes. In addition, we do not respond in public or to public comments at board meetings, but we do hear them, we do respect you, we listen, and we do take into account all of the community members' concerns. If there's a specific question that comes up that we can respond to after the meeting, we will do so. Thank you. Okay, so we are on to item 10, which is our action items, which I'm going to then put back on my secretary hat as well. Okay, so moving on then to action items. Action item A is our consent agenda. Number 1 is to approve the monthly transaction reports for September of 2021. Number 2 is to approve the fund balance reports for September of 2021. Number 3 is to approve expenditure report and projected payroll report for October of 2021. Number 4 is to approve board minutes from the regular meeting of September 15th, 2021. Number 5 is to approve the closed session minutes from the regular meeting of September 15th, 2021. Number 6 is to approve the destruction of closed session tapes from June of 2017. Number 7 is our personnel recommendations. We have listed before us 6 additions, a new intern, a couple of internal transfers. We have an FMLA leave of absence, we have an extended leave of absence without pay, and then we do have a few resignations as well. I was told that, is Miss McLaughlin here?
Yes, she is.
You have stuck with us this long. Welcome.
That's my pleasure.
So, Ms. McLaughlin is a technology teacher at Northwest, after we say yes, effective this week. So is there anyone else that's also in addition to this? So if I could have, please, a first motion to accept the consent agenda as listed.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Claudia. And a second?
Second.
Denise, thank And a roll call, that would be me. Claudia Parker,
Yes.
Denise Jones,
Yes.
Kimberly Leonard, absent. Judy Rayson,
Yes.
Rachel Merrickwin,
Yes.
Michael Allmiller,
Okay.
and me, yes. Excellent. So item, like I said, consent agenda item A has been passed. So welcome. Ms. McLaughlin, yes, you can have puppies too. We are all about celebration, so welcome aboard. Thank you. Item number B is to approve the Director of Human Resources for the 2021-2022 school year. If I can have a first motion, please,
First.
and a second.
Second.
Great, thank you. Okay, and a roll call, Denise Jones,
Yes.
Michael Allmiller, Rachel Merrickwin,
Yes.
Judy Rayson,
Yes.
Claudia Parker.
Okay, so I think it is very important to support a superintendent, especially a new sitting superintendent, and their desire to complete the team that they feel is going to help move our district forward. I think human resources in District 124 has been something that we've been wanting to build upon and make better to where we can have all of the intricacies of our school district kind of be streamlined, and I think it is very important that we bring this role in. I also think that it's important that our candidate has a certain criteria that is met. And the information that was presented, I feel falls short of that, so my vote is no.
Noted, thank you. And Colleen Klimzak, yes. Motion passes. Item number C is to approve the settlement agreement with Fifth. Oh, my goodness, absolutely. So we have with us this evening, Philip Abraham.
Yes.
Welcome aboard. Thank you very much.
I would like to take the opportunity to introduce Mr. Philip Abraham. So Philip comes to us with several years of experience in a building, a school building, and I cannot think of a better fit for the organization to help progress us forward. He truly emphasizes the ability to build relationships with people and putting the human back into human resources. Some of his qualifications come from serving on a para committee, parent outreach connections, equity and minority achievement, SEL, and emotional well-being of students and staff. And I truly am excited to welcome him to the team. So we have a gift bag here for you, and we have to take a picture because that's what we do here.
We do that a lot.
So would you like to stand up and introduce yourself, Philip?
Hi, I'm Phil Abraham. I work in LaGrange 102, and I've been there for 17 years. And I believe those experiences that I've gone through, like Jenna just brought up, definitely I am able to bring those experiences here and work with the community, with the administrative team and the teachers and all the administrators. So I'm really looking forward to it. And it's going to be hard leaving the place from 17 years, but I just get a really good feel of District 124. I'm really looking forward to the opportunity. So I appreciate it. And thank you for the welcome, and I make sure to meet and exceed all of your expectations. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
And I-
I have a habit of welcoming people before we actually say yes to things or not, so I was very proud of myself, so.
And I want to say one last thing is I want to be just like Debbie.
We all should be just like Deb. I love
That's my goal. That's my goal.
That's a good goal to have.
Yeah,
That's a
thank you.
very good goal.
It'll take you 30 years.
It'll take you 30 years.
I'll
Colleen,
work
you wanna come up? Sure. Is your swag bag? We do swag here.
Oh, we do swag.
Down with swag.
Are you a coffee person?
Yes.
Okay, we need to get him a coffee bag.
I think it might go.
Oh, maybe it's in there, huh?
Swag in there.
You always, Sonia takes good care of
Yeah.
us.
Thank you.
All right,
Congratulations.
thank you very much. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you.
And we have cupcakes.
Yeah, of course. Cupcakes, always.
That is what we do. Swag bags and cupcakes. Beautiful thing. Okay. So I didn't jump the gun, but I also almost forgot. So one of these days I will get the right rhythm to all of this.
Yeah, it's perfect.
So, back to consent, to our action items. Item number C is to approve the settlement agreement with Fifth Third Bank for the 2017 PTAB objection. If I could have a first, please.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Rachel. And a second?
I'll second.
Excellent, thanks, Judy. And a roll call. Rachel Merrickwin,
Yes.
Judy Rayson,
Yes.
Kimberly Leonard absent, Claudia Parker,
Yes.
Michael Allmiller, Denise Jones, and myself, yes. Excellent, motion passed. And that leads us to item number 11, where we are going to recess to closed session to discuss the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline.
Hit D.
Sorry, guys. Item number D, I am so grateful for you, keeping me on track. Approve settlement agreement with Evergreen Living and Rehab Center LLC for the 2017-2019 PTAB objection. May I have a first, please?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Judy. And a second?
Second.
Thank you, Claudia. And a roll call, Judy Rayson,
Yes.
Claudia Parker,
Yes.
Rachel Merrickwin,
Yes.
Michael Allmiller,
Yes.
Denise Jones, Kimberly Leonard absent, and myself, yes. Now, item number D has passed. Thank you, guys. Okay, now we will recess to closed session to discuss the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the district or legal counsel for the district, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee or against legal counsel for the district to determine its validity. We are going to recess to closed session, and there will not be action taken when we come back.
You can go home.
You can go home. Thank you, Sonia, and all in favor?
Thank you, Sonia.
Well, they get to eat cupcakes.
All in favor?
And all principals and
Excellent, thank you.
assistant
Okay.
principals, come grab your
Closed
spot.
session.
Oh.
Alright.
Here's your puppet. Appreciation.
And this is why, I know you said the spot is just
Yeah, yours are just as cool.
And if you don't like it, you guys,
warm hearts. You and me both. You know it.